Hey everybody, and welcome to the Hot Tag with your girl Izzy. Today I am so excited to be joined by the prodigy and the reality of wrestling Diamonds champion, Roxy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. So what's been going on lately? Give me a little update.
Um, Not much, with the whole pandemic and all this craziness. I've just been home. We've been doing some tapings. We've done like one or two tapings for Reality of Wrestling. So
Ooh.
I traveled to Houston last week for that. But other than that, just spending a lot of time with my family because I didn't have a lot of time before, especially because I have four other sisters. So yeah, and before the pandemic happened, everyone had their own thing, like extracurricular activities and school. So we never really had time to like spend time with each other. So right now is a really good time for that. So I'm happy about that.
That's cool. Definitely family time matters. So starting out with the beginning, I know the feeling when you watch pro wrestling, you're like, that's what I want to do. But I also know the feeling when you tell your parents, hey, I want to be a pro wrestler. What made you say that you want to be in the ring one day, and how did your parents react?
So my favorite wrestler of all time is AJ Lee. Um, she was she was like the first diva to kind of she was like a tomboy. She wasn't like the typical diva that you'd see on TV. And when I was younger, I was a tomboy. So I would watch WWE and I'd see wrestlers like Kelly Kelly and I loved her, but I was like I couldn't really like relate. I didn't have like that representation. And then when AJ came out, I was like, oh wow, like I can do it too. And I just thought she was the coolest ever. So I actually told my parents, when I told my parents, they were kind of like, what? Because they didn't really, like I said, I have all sisters. So they were never into that. So when I said it, they were like, hmm. But my parents have always been super supportive. So they were like, okay, if you're going to do that, then you're going to do that.
That is so cool. It feels like I'm talking to myself right now because my parents are like the exact same. Like they're super supportive. Like I fell in love with one wrestler and I'm like, oh my god, I want to be a pro wrestler. So I know you started at a very young age, which I think is truly amazing. But there are definitely some challenges when being the youngest girl in the locker room. I experienced them too. So like you're not the only person. How do you ever overcome those challenges when being the youngest?
So of course, yeah, there's a lot of challenges. When I first started, I was like 14, 15. So, a lot of people were just like, she does not know what she's doing. But I really did, because I'm sure, you know, um,
Mm-hmm.
even I feel like so many people just think that since we're young, we don't really know much, but I feel like it's just all about passion. I see how
Yes.
passionate you are about wrestling, and I love that. And
Thank you.
that's exactly what I was. So I think just staying true to yourself and just always thinking about the end goal. Like a lot of this is not going to matter when we reach where we want to get to. So I get always keeping that in mind helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's really cool. And like you said, like I experienced it too. Like it sucks sometimes when somebody just doesn't take you seriously and I'm like, no, I know I kind of know what I'm doing. But it's something we all love and it's just something that we really want to do one day. Now, I need to ask this because I just need to reassure myself. Usually when I go to my shows, I'm usually like the only girl with her parents around and I love my parents, I really do. I don't hate them, but it's just sometimes I'm like I need to be a grown up. Does that happen to you, or am I like the only one?
Um, when I first started, yeah, I was like, because you see, it's kind of like when your parents walk you in on the first day of school, and you're like, ugh, but you love them, but you're just like, oh, this is so embarrassing. But I my parents weren't really around a lot, just because they are very, very, very busy with my other sisters and their jobs. So I was taking Greyhounds to a lot of my shows by myself when I first started. That was pretty scary, but I feel like it would have been a little nice to have my parents around a little bit more, just because it was like crazy, like being so young, being surrounded
Mhm.
by all these people.
Yeah. Um, so I know, like, I definitely think you pursuing your dreams gave you the opportunity to face these excellent superstars like Thunder Rosa, Priscilla Kelly, Kylie Ray, and Alex Gracia. Speaking of Alex Gracia, your match with her got 1.8 million views. How does it feel knowing that you had that many eyes on you?
It's crazy. I was actually talking about this with my sister like not too long ago, because my match with Hyon, where I won the championship, actually has like I think almost 4 million views, and
Wow.
I came across that and I was like, this is just so crazy. Like I don't even think I can actually like I don't know, it's just weird. Like 4 million people watched that match. 1 million people watched that match with Alex. Like I can't even actually like process that number in my head. But it's awesome. It's such a cool feeling because um, it obviously, like when I first started, it was like I actually have my own YouTube channel, and I don't post much on there, but when I first started, I would just like post a few of my local matches just to get some eyes, and it was like, oh, 100 views, 200 views, and that got me excited. And then so to see like that these matches have like 1 million views, 4 million views, it's really cool. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. And I know you said you have a YouTube channel. Like that's so cool. Like just you posting your matches and like you promoting yourself, like that's a real like key point. Now I know we were talking about like some of the superstars you faced, but who would be your ultimate dream opponent?
My ultimate dream opponent. Probably AJ. Most
Okay,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah, even though she's not wrestling anymore, but hopefully she comes back one day. But
That would be
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. When she was wrestling, I always told my mom, like, I'm gonna wrestle her one day. Just watch, just watch. Then she retired, and I was like,
um, so I know, well, I'm not 18, but being 18 and a pro wrestler can definitely be shaky from balancing school and just your overall career. And some people may not know what it's like. What advice would you give to young girls and boys who want to pursue pro wrestling at a young age, just like you did?
hmm. I would say, just stay focused. Keep your mind strong, because as much as wrestling is so much about being physically strong and all that, I feel like it's so much of being mentally strong, because it is hard, like balancing my high school social life and then balancing wrestling and school and college and all that. It's tough, but like when you really, really, really love something, you'll do anything to get there. So yeah, like just stay focused, stay determined, and keep your eye on the end goal and what you want, and it'll just come naturally. It'll flow. Everything will fall into place.
I love that advice because I find myself like, man, I wish I was just a normal kid. Like, I honestly get like that sometimes. And then like the other half of me, I'm like, okay, nobody's having like these like people in the business saying, hey kid, you're doing really good. So like that's the part where like I kind of have a hard time with, but I definitely agree with you. Like, stay the course. But finally, where can everybody find you on social media? Where can they find your YouTube? And where can they find some of your matches?
So my Instagram is _Roxy, so that's _ROKC. My Twitter is the Roxy _. My Facebook is Roxy, and then my YouTube channel. I need to get better with my YouTube channel. But my YouTube channel is under Roxy. I have a few matches there, but if you just search Roxy on YouTube, you'll find a lot of my matches there.
Yes, and I was binge watching all your matches when I was researching all about you. Um, but I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. And I just think like I truly look up to you because, like we were saying before, like there's nobody in the business that's doing like pro wrestling at such a young age. So like it's definitely hard for me to relate to some, but I feel like we could kind of relate because we get those looks like, oh my God, who is this kid doing in the locker room? Like, can she do anything? So I just want to say thank you so much, and I think you're truly amazing.
Oh, thank you. I have actually I've known you since like I found you on social media not too long ago, and I just thought it was so cool because I'm sure you get like a lot of hate and whatnot because of your age. But just ignore that. I think you're freaking awesome for doing.
Thank
I
you.
wish I was doing what you're doing at your
You can
age.
do it. You can do it. Like I know you can. Like I watch your matches and I'm like, that girl has it. I feel like she can be in the WWE one day.
Well, hopefully we'll have a match one day there.
One day. One day. But also thank you guys for joining me on this episode of the Hot Tag with your girl Izzy and Roxy. I will see you guys next time.